Okay, we're in the Apocrypha in First Ezra, the 8th chapter, because it says, there be any profane person in Hebrews 12 and 16 as Esau. So profane is polluted. Let's look at what it says in First Ezra 8 and 69 in the Apocrypha. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles. When the Most High told us in Jeremiah 10 and 2, said, learn not the way of the heathen. But he's saying, we have not put away from ourselves as the Israelites, the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, all these so-called Africans, Hamites, Hittites, Parasites, Jebusites, and the Moabites. All those so-called Africans, except for Moabites, are the indigenous Chinese. Egyptians, most so-called Africans, Hamites, and Edomites. So you see, he's saying the Edomites are profane, polluted. But both they and their sons have married with their daughters. And the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. Most High told us not to get with these other nations because they're going to take our minds from following him. Because Psalms 96 and 5 says, for all the gods of the nations are idols. It says both they and their sons have married with their daughters. And the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity, this wickedness. Make it mean it's something different than iniquity, as it is written. But you know, the Most High is not with interracial marriages. And as soon as I heard these things, that's what Ezra did. I rent my clothes. He tore his clothes and the holy garment and pulled off the hair from off my head and beard. That had to hurt. This is how serious it is. And sat me down sad and very heavy. See. And what do? First Ezra 9 and 10. Excuse me. First Ezra 9 and verse 7. So Ezra rose up and said unto them, talking to us, the children of Israel, ye have transgressed the law of the Most High in marrying strange wives, thereby to increase the sins of Israel. And now by confessing, give glory unto the Most High, power of our fathers, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and do his will, and separate yourselves from the heathen of the land and from the strange women, right? So what did they do? Verse 36. All these had taken strange wives. They give a list of all of them. All these had taken strange wives, and they put them away with their children to get the pollution of these Gentile nations away from Israel. This is what we did. So when you understand and understand the fact of the matter of Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7, when salvation is coming to the 12 tribes of Israel, right to the point, this is what they're going to say. We rid ourselves in a way of wickedness and destruction, as you can see now. And know their story, how they have rid themselves in a way of wickedness and destruction. Look at Ukraine. Look at what's prophesied going to happen in this world. The destruction of the Messiah didn't make the time short. Through the power of the Most High, there wouldn't be no flesh slave. They rid themselves in a way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, this is what they're saying. We have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High and the way of Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. You hear that? So all you that's following the enemies, those that were set up to punish us for us breaking the Most High's laws, which he told us he's going to do these things. He's going to give us to the worst of the heathen, to an unjust king, no matter who's in charge, going to be unjust toward us. What have we received for working for free for hundreds of years? One dime, one penny, one nickel for reparations. Then they gave everybody. They even went to war with that bombed them. Reparations. But not us. That's why it says, but as for the way of the Most High, we have not known it. That's past tense. From this point until salvation coming on this earth, righteousness being set up on this earth. This is what they're going to say. Now, some of you don't believe it. Let's go back to verse 2. You say, when they see it, when they see a righteous man standing in great boldness in the face of such have afflicted him and made no account of his labors, like I just said. When they see it, when they see the brother standing strong, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Hear that? So far beyond all that they look for. This prophecy of how they're going to feel when salvation is coming to the 12 tribes of Israel. 1/3, mind you. See? So, verse 7 says, hey, therefore have we erred from the way of truth. Verse 6, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us. Righteousness is keeping up the Most High's laws. You know that, Deuteronomy 6:25, all day long. It ain't going nowhere. And the Son of righteousness rose not upon us. We reared ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Most High, my shekel shine, we have not known it. We have not known, and not going to know the way of the Most High. So all that teaching that people out there teaching them, in the end, that's what they're going to say. So all your teaching is in vain. So my shekel Shai said, go to the 12 tribes of Israel. As you go, tell them, teach them that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent and keep the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. So everybody can listen to this and learn the laws of the Most High. Because you're going to learn them now, you're going to learn them later, but you're going to bow down now, you're going to bow down later, but you're going to bow down to the Most High. Believe that. Isaiah 33:1. It says, woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled. Woe means destruction. Unto you that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled. And dealeth treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. He's screaming at you. You see? He's talking about those that spoileth. Look at us. We spend over $1 trillion a year, don't have nothing to show for it. Destruction to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled. And dealeth treacherously. Treacherously. And they dealt not treacherously with thee. I mean, we the only people, as the Israelites, that we see we being treacherously treated and do not deal treacherously with the ones that's treating us treacherously. That's us. When thou shalt cease to spoil, when they're going to cease to spoil, there's going to come a time that they're going to see, just prophecy, they're going to cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. Oh yeah, thou shalt be spoiled. Look what it says. Hold that. Get Obadiah 17. That's why prophecy is already here. When thou cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. That's why it tells us in Obadiah 17. But upon Mount Zion, upon the 12 tribes of Israel, we are Zion, shall be deliverance. And there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. You see? That's the ultimate reparations. Who's it talking about? Verse 1. Vision of Obadiah the prophet. Thus said the Most High concerning Edom. so-called white man. So back to Isaiah 33 and 1, it says, woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled, and dealeth treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, as we just read. We're going to own all their possessions, the Israelites. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And you know, hey, that's payback. And they know this. But it's in the Most High's hand. Look at King David prophesied. Go to Psalms 137. Psalms 137. And 7. It says, remember, O Most High, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. That's what they did. That's why you go to 1 Ezra. First Ezra 4 and 45. It says, thou also have vowed to build up the temple, which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans. When we went into captivity under the Babylonians, the Edomites burned down our temple. That's what David is prophesying about, because they didn't do anything during the time of David. David put all nations under subjection to the Israelites. 40 years. And King Solomon had 40 years of peace. They were under him. Going back to Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So they burnt down our temples. O daughter of Babylon. See, Edom represents the daughter of Babylon. When you read in Isaiah 47 and 1, the virgin daughter of Babylon, nobody's touched her as of yet. But look what it says, O daughter of Babylon, who represents verse 7. Remember, O Most High, the children of Edom, who are who? The daughter of Babylon. Babylon comes from the word Babal, which means confusion. That's all you have here is confusion. Who ought to be destroyed. Future prophecy. Happy shall it be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Most I say you're going to be happy to reward them as they have served us. This is what it say. Happy shall it be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. He said, happy shall it be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. I wonder why it's saying that. Let's look at a book. It's I have it laminated. It's you can see it here. It's Penguin Classics. This is by Bartholomew de las Casas, a short account of the destruction of the Indies, right? So it's saying, happy shall it be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones, right? So it just so happened that a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So let's look at this picture in this book, because the book is, here's the book right here. I have the book right here. Just in case some of you just think I'm just making this up. I have the book right here. You see, it's been used, but there it is right there. Same thing that I just showed you. So this picture, it says a short account of the destruction of the Indies, right? So he's saying in Psalms 137 and 9, happy shall it be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones, right? So this is a picture I'm going to show you. It says, they spared no one. And they came into the Western Hemisphere. They spared no one. This is what he's writing in this book. Erecting especially wide gibbets on which they could string their victims up with their feet just off the ground, and they burned them alive, right? But as you see in this picture, I'm going to show you, they're taking the little baby and they're smashing them against a stone. You see? You see that? Can you see that? Make sure you see right here, right there. He got the baby in his hand. He's smashing against the stone. I have two cameras, so I'm pointed to both cameras. Because that's what they did to us. Their tactics. This New Spain, it says, the Spanish commander gave orders that the leading citizens be roped together, tied to stakes, and burned alive. These are the things that, I can say, they dealt treacherously. And they dealt not treacherously with them. You see that? So these are the facts of the matter. These are drawings that were drawn from this book. And they're all in this book. They're all in this book here. You can see, let's see, it's just I blew the pictures up. See, pictures all throughout this book. This is the book. Just showing you some of the pictures. See, and I'll show you the pictures blew up so you can see them closer. All these pictures are in this book. Look here. It says, it's the kingdom of Yucatan. It says, one woman determined that the dogs should not tear her to pieces, tied her child to her leg, and hanged herself from a beam. And you can see that this Spaniard have half a child in one hand and the other half of the child in the other hand, split in half, and the dogs are eating half of the child in his right hand and half the child in his left hand. You know, and excuse me for the gruesomeness of these pictures, but I think it need to be shown so that you can see why the Most High bringing the judgment upon this earth. You see? A short account of the destruction of the Indies by Bartholomew de las Casas. In this book, here we say, the back guard set the royal seal of approval on the establishment in his camp of a human abattoir. Now, here you see a baby. They roasting a baby on the grill like you would barbecue meat. They roasting a baby on the grill, and they got baby parts hanging up, parts of people where, when you read the story, they starved the people, the indigenous people that was here, and made them walk a long distance, so they're really hungry. And when they came to this particular camp, they made them eat their own people. Cannibalism. You can't make this stuff up. They drew pictures of it. Look at the sister. Hanging on a beam right here, hanging on a beam. She hung herself and have her little baby hanging on her hip, that the dogs would not rip her to pieces. So yes, this is real as real could be. Look, this is the province and kingdom of Guatemala. All those captured, pregnant women, mothers of newborn babes, children and old men were thrown into the pits and impaled alive. And in the pits have stakes, that's steel stakes that's coming up, and when they throw them in there, those spikes are going through their bodies to kill them. Legs, knees, chest, stomach, wherever, head, wherever they land, see? You can't deny this. But it's real sad when you have to reveal these things that happen to our brothers and sisters. Look what it says. New Spain, continue. It says, at the city gates, Montezuma himself came out to meet them, carried on a litter of gold and surrounded by the entire court. Gave them gold, showing them love. We were a peaceful people. This whole court. This is from the book by Bartholomew de las Casas, a short account of the destruction of the Indies. So that's enough of that. Because it brings about very heartfelt feeling of what we went through. Why you see in Psalms 137:9, it says, happy shall it be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones, as they did our brothers and sisters. Well, the judgment, David says, Psalms 139:19, it says, surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O Most High. Say, depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men. You just seen all the bloodshed that was shed to get this Western Hemisphere. But they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Taking the Most High's name in vain. And they speaking against the Most High wickedly, saying that he is them. Can't get no clearer than that. He said, do not I hate them, O Most High, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? He said, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Thus saith King David. You see, so he's letting you know this is how we feel concerning them. While we have to understand and overstand the job that the Most High is going to do and what he caused us to go through because he warned us. We just read in Deuteronomy 28 some of the curses that he says is going to befall us. But he warned us in captivity over and over again. Here we are crying to the Most High, complaining to the Most High. But he told us this in Ezekiel 7:24. He said, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen. And they who are the worst of the heathen, they shall possess their houses. I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. You hear that? He said, destruction cometh. Because we ain't want to follow the Most High's voice. We ain't want to do what he said do, just like it is today. He said, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Hear that? Destruction cometh, he's saying. When you send the worst of the heathen, we just read the definition of Caucasian. It said, Caucasoid, a subspecies of mankind. That's what they say about themselves. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests, and counsel from the ancients. You hear that? That's why you see our people now. These so-called preachers, I call them pork chop eating preachers, telling our people that we're not under the law. What are they saying? You ain't got to follow the Most High. The Most High took the time to give us moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. And you saying that they're null and void? That he said he wrote with his finger the work of the Most High? Oh, it's a fearful thing. They'll fall into the hands of living power. Hebrews 10:31. Scripture tell you. He said, a king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation. In the hands of the people of the land shall be trouble. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them. And they shall know. Here, listen at this closely. He said, we gonna know as the Israelites that I am the Most High. Don't you feel him? But understand, that's what he told us. Not only that, go into the Apocrypha, go into Song of Three Holy Children, verse 9. This is what we knew this. You know, we learned about it, but we knew this. Why we said this. The Song of Three Holy Children, verse 9. And thou did deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies. Lawless, meaning, what would they do? Remember it said, in the end, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. We have gone through deserts where there lay no way. As for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach, we have not known it. So they are lawless. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies. All the nations' gods are idols. Psalm 96 and 5, it says, but he gave us to the worst of the heathen. He said them for last. Listen. And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful, forsakers of the Most High, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world. Thus say the Bible. So, we knew this. But you think we're going to try and do what's right? But see, the problem is, the wicked of our nation outnumber the righteous. Therefore, when you look at Ezekiel 21 and 1, this is talking to the children of the Most High, the chosen people of the Most High, the 12 tribes of Israel. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward Jerusalem, and drop thy word toward the holy places, and prophesy against the land of Israel. We were on the land of Israel. This is our homeland. The people, the 12 tribes of Israel. And say to the land of Israel, thus said the Most High, behold, I am against thee, and I will draw forth my sword out of his sheath, and will cut off from thee, from the land of Israel, who? The righteous and the wicked. See, 2/3 of our people is no good. Good for nothing. That's why he said, I'm going to cut off from the land of Israel, behind what the wicked were doing, the righteous, those that's keeping the laws of the Most High, and the wicked, those that were not keeping the laws of the Most High. Saying then that I will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked, Therefore shall my sword go forth out of his sheath against all flesh, from the south to the north, the whole land, that all flesh may know that I, the Most High, have drawn forth my sword out of his sheath. It shall not return any more. Hear what he's saying? That's what the Most High did to us, the 12 tribes of Israel. He cut the righteous and the wicked out of the land. That's why when you look at Isaiah 14:21, he said, prepare slaughter for his children. Why? For the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. You see? So a lot of you say that's not fair. I just showed you where he took the righteous and the wicked and brought us as the chosen people of the Most High into captivity, slavery, and bondage under these other enemies of the Most High, because we didn't follow his voice, his rules and regulations. So that's why you look at Lamentations 5 and 7. Concerning we, his chosen people, the Israelites, what he did to us, what we have to go through. It says, Lamentations 5 and 7, our fathers, our forefathers have sinned, meaning they broke the laws of the Most High that you say we not under. Our fathers, which is our forefathers, have sinned and are not, meaning they're not here. And what happened? And we have borne, or we have carried their iniquities. You see? We have paid the price for what our forefathers did and not keeping the laws, statute, commandments of the Most High. Look what it says. Servants have ruled over us. Remember it said the first shall be a servant? Esau supposed to be a servant to us. It says servants have ruled over us. All the nations supposed to be servants to the children of Israel. But we didn't follow the Most High's laws, statute, commandments. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that does deliver us out of their hand. Because it tells you in Deuteronomy 28 and 29, ain't no man gonna save us. Only the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's gonna determine when we shall be saved. But remember, he said he's gonna make the time short for the great tribulation that's gonna be on this earth that's never been on this earth before. He said he's gonna make the time short. Else wouldn't be no flesh saved. That's their agenda. Eugenics, population decrease in all ways, shapes, and forms. I mean, look, they got a shortage in baby formula. You mean to tell me they didn't know this was coming? The things you see, I see farmers crying out, showing that they have all this food that they paying a 1.5 more to destroy, to not bring the food to the market. But understand this, the Most High's word gonna be true. Remember what it said, Proverbs 16 and 4. Yeah, the Most High created all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. So they do what they're supposed to do. It's just a matter of where we gonna be at. And preparing ourselves for what it is that's written, knowing what's written, and you prepare for what it is that's going down. They telling you. What did Biden say? Gonna be food shortage. He said it out of his own mouth. Look at shelves. I was seeing someone was telling me that they have mirrors of food. The shelves are empty, but they got a mirror of food like it's on the shelves. You walk down the aisle, you look down and you think it's food. No, all the shelves are empty. Just a picture of food. Y'all better prepare yourself. Always. That's why I say, our fathers have sinned and are not. And we have borne their iniquities. That's why it says, hey, they're going to have to bear the iniquities of their forefathers. Just as we did. It is what it is. We just have to prepare ourselves for the times that we in now. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. While we have to humble ourselves and before the Most High, and not exalt yourself in any way, shape, or form before him. Fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. See, we got our people that are following the way of the world. Go to Isaiah 50th chapter. Wickedness. They love the way of wickedness. Isaiah 50:10. Say, who is among you that feareth the Most High, that obeyeth the voice of his servant, that walketh in darkness, and have no light? Let him trust in the name of the Most High, and stay upon his power. Behold, all ye that kindle a fire, that compass yourselves about with sparks, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that ye have kindled. This shall ye have of mine hand. Ye shall lie down in sorrow. You hear that? Now, we know, if you go back a few chapters, in Isaiah 47th chapter, that the Most High told Esau, which represent the virgin daughter of Babylon. We went to Psalms 137, 7-9. The daughter of Babylon, virgin because nobody touched America. Ain't nobody touched them like this. So he told him in verse 5, he says, sit thou silent, shut up, be quiet, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. And you can pull out a dollar bill and turn it on the opposite side. You'll see this is what they're dealing with. Their vibrations with Egypt and Babylon. Daughter of the Chaldeans. But thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. You see? But he told them to shut up and get thee into darkness. And when they got into darkness, they put the people in gross darkness. He put the people in gross darkness. That's why you see, that's Isaiah 60:2. That's why it's very important for us to come and learn these precepts. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. No matter where you want to go, name a prophet. It's going to bring forth the same thing. Remember, they had the spirit of Mashiach. Isaiah 60:2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. Darkness is ignorance, not knowing, being dumb, stupid, unawares, not knowing. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness, gross ignorance, the people. But the Most High shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. The Israelites. Those of us that have come out of this darkness into the Most High's marvelous light. That's why when you're going back to Isaiah 50:10, who is among you that feareth the Most High, that obeyeth the voice of his servant? The servants are who? Anyone that call on the name of the Lord? No. Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob, my servant's sake. See? Jacob is the Most High's servant. Also, Baruch 3:36 in the Apocrypha. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob his servant. Can't get no clearer than that. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and he became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. You would have said, he hath found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved. So you say, my beloved, in the New Testament, it's talking about the Israelites, without a shadow of a doubt. So now, going back to Isaiah 50:10, who is among you that feareth the Most High, that obeyeth the voice of his servant, that walketh in darkness? See? Walketh in ignorance, not knowing, and have no light. See, the light will have you shining bright. Why it tells you, look, what's the light? You ain't got to go far. Go to Proverbs 6. Hold that. Proverbs 6:23. So some of you should already know these answers. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. You see? and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So the law is light. And go to Baruch, the 4th chapter, the 1st verse. We just left Baruch 3:36. Let's go to Baruch, the 4th chapter, the 1st verse. It says, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endureth forever. So somebody lying to you to say that the law, we're not under the law. It says the law that endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life. That's everlasting life. If you keep the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, you shall come to life. That's everlasting life. But such as leave it, you leave the laws of the Most High, that he created with his finger, the work of the Most High, shall die. So anyone telling you that you're not under the law, they set you up to die and be thrown in the lake of fire. That death that is talked about is being thrown in the lake of fire. Turn to your Jacob and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. See? That's how you're going to be illuminated before the Most High. By walking in the light of the laws of the Most High. Isaiah 50:11. Behold, all ye that kindle a fire, that compass yourselves about with sparks, walk in the light of your fire. Walk in the light of your fire. This hip talk. Walk in the light of your fire. Walk in the light of your fire. And in the sparks that ye have kindled, this shall ye have of mine hand. Ye shall lie down in sorrow. You don't want to do what he said? What's that fire? Jeremiah 23:29. Is not my word like as a fire, said the Most High, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? So that's how you can avoid lying down in sorrow, by keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High to be illuminated, as we just read in Baruch 4:3. This is how you avoid it. Isaiah 51:1. It say, hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that follow after the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, his rules and regulations. Ye that seek the Most High, look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you. Going all the way back to our forefather Abraham and Sarah. For I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him. For the Most High shall comfort Zion. He gonna comfort we, the 12 tribes of Israel. We're Zion. He gonna comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places, because it's desolate over there right now. And he will make her wilderness, all the land that is barren and desolate, he gonna make our wilderness like Eden. You hear this? Like Eden. And her desert like the garden of the Most High. He said, joy and gladness shall be found therein. Thanksgiving, a real thanksgiving of the Most High. And the voice of melody. It says, hearken unto me. Listen to the Most High, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation. See, we're a nation. We got to stop calling ourselves organizations and groups and the things that will not allow us to be a nation. This is what he said. Hearken unto me, my people, the 12 tribes of Israel, and give ear unto me, O my nation. So anybody calling you anything different is not following what the Most High is saying here. You hear what he's saying? Hearken, listen unto me, my people. Oh, some of you might say, okay, well, who's the my people? Let's find out. Hold that. Exodus 3 and 10. One scripture proves who the my people are. Exodus 3 and 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, talking to Moses, that thou mayest bring forth my people. We defining who my people is. My people, the children of Israel out of Egypt. Because all 12 tribes were in the Egyptian captivity. So my people represent the 12 tribes of Israel. Now when you go back here and we see verse 4 of Isaiah, the 51st chapter, it says, hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation. See? My people, the 12 tribes of Israel, who are a nation. For a law shall proceed from me. You know what he said? A law shall proceed from me. And I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. You see? The law proceeding from the Most High. The same one that you say that we're not under the law. He's saying it came from him. Y'all got to hear this. My righteousness, which is keeper of the Most High's laws, is near. My salvation is gone forth. Powers and authority to the 12 tribes has gone forth. And mine arms shall judge the people. He's ordained him to bring the judgment of the Most High upon the people. The isles shall wait upon me. Those in the islands shall wait upon him, and on mine arm shall they trust. They're going to trust in the Mashiach Yahushua. Lift up your eyes to the heavens and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke. Hear that? Look up in the air. He's saying, hey, heavens is talking about powers from the authority on this earth. You say the heavens because the stars and all, the moon and the sun is going to remain there. But he said, look for the heavens shall vanish away like smoke. Powers and authority on this earth going to vanish away like smoke. Right? And the earth shall wax old like a garment, like it is now. And they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever. And my righteousness shall not be abolished. His law, statutes, commandments is not going to be abolished no matter how much you tell the people we not under the law. He said, my righteousness, which is, let me go there, because a lot of you might think righteousness is whatever you create in your own mind. But let's find out what righteousness is according to the Most High. Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness. It's a condition. If is a condition. We observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he have commanded us. You're not going to get away from it. This is what it's saying. Going back to Isaiah 51 and 6. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness, the Most High's law, shall not be abolished. No matter how much you tell the people that we not under the Most High's laws. He said his righteousness, his laws, statutes, and commandments shall not be abolished. That's why Mashiach told you. Have you read this to your congregation lately? You preachers, you teachers that's supposed to be bringing forth the word of the Most High, have you read this to your congregation lately? Matthew 5:17. This from Mashiach Yahushua's mouth. He said, think not, so don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's the Old Testament. I challenge you to tell me in your own words, you ain't even got to go to no scriptures, that Amashak was shy when he was on the earth in the flesh, was quoting what Paul wrote, who wrote most of the New Testament. When he was here in the flesh. Identify Paul, whose name was Saul, when he walked in the flesh, in these scriptures through his life, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you can find the writings of Paul that y'all want to go to with no understanding, or Peter or James or any of the books, Revelations and so forth. He only had the law and the prophets, so why would he destroy what it is that he had to go by when he was here in the flesh? This is real simple. But y'all trying to be so deep and missing the whole understanding of what he's saying here. That's what he said. Think not, don't even think that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. That's what he went by. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And he fulfilled what it is that he would have to go through in suffering for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. For verily I say to you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth still here. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. See, the Most High knew that you would say that we're not under his laws, that he wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. That's why it's saying. You notice it didn't say commandments. It said, for verily I say to you, truly I say to you, till heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth is still here. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. You see? This is what he tell you. Talking to you pork chop eating preachers out there, you teachers that's teaching our people that they not under the law. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, that you know the law and the commandments the same thing. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, especially you that's saying that we ain't under the commandments, we ain't under the law, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do what? The commandments, the laws of the Most High, that he wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. You see? So if you do the laws and you teach the laws, you're going to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say to you that except your righteousness, you keeping the laws of the Most High, shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Let you know, hey, they was always coming against them.